Today we're going to do scrambled eggs, because if you can do scrambled eggs, you need never be hungry for the rest of your life. Perfect breakfast, lunch, tea, supper, any time of the day or night. Now, the ingredients for scrambled eggs: milk, eggs, butter, pepper and salt. Simple. Okay, now this is a recipe that has been handed down in my family. I don't know anybody else that makes scrambled eggs this way, and there's many, many ways of making scrambled eggs, but this is my favorite, and I'm sure it'll become your favorite too. Now, so we start with the milk, where you put a 1 centimetre of milk in the bottom of a saucepan. This saucepan is a non-stick saucepan, and I'd recommend, if you can get a non-stick saucepan, that's the one to use, because you don't have to be as vigilant with this one as you would with the ordinary saucepan, right? What you do is, as I say, you put the milk into the thing. You put a good knob of butter into the milk, some pepper and salt. That's at the end of those. Now, before I start, I also like to break the eggs into a jug, a pouring jug if you can, because what you don't want to be doing is fishing out bits of shell if they get into the mix. So we try and have the eggs ready before we start. So we'll break 4 eggs. I'm making enough for 2 people today. Now, 2 or 3 eggs per person, depending on the size of the egg and the size of the person. So today I'm making a 4-egg scrambled egg for 2 people. Okay, so we break these into the mix, into the bowl first. One. Now, I do break the eggs a little bit in the bowl as well before I put it into the mix. So that's about enough. You don't need to whisk them up or anything like that. So we heat the milk. When you're doing this, you must stay with the pot at all times, because the milk and the egg especially has a tendency to stick to the bottom of the pot. And what that does is it prevents the heat from rising into the mix. Only the bottom of the pot gets cooked and indeed burnt. So you have to keep the mix stirred at all times. And as I say, when you have a non-stick pot, it's the vigilance, it needs to be a little bit less, whereas if you have a stainless steel or an aluminium pot, you have to be much more vigilant. So what you do is, we're heating the milk and the butter now. When the butter has melted, and before the milk actually boils up, that's the time when you add the eggs. Now the butter is sort of half melted there. That's nearly melted, and that's means it's ready to go now with the eggs. So we add the eggs at this stage. Now what you do is, you use, if you can, a straight-bottomed spatula, a wooden spatula. It's better than a wooden spoon for taking the cooked egg off the bottom of the pot and allowing the raw mixture to go down to the bottom and get cooked. And what you do is you keep stirring gently. You don't whisk this. Just stir it gently, just to keep the cooked mixture off the bottom and allow the raw mixture to go down and get cooked in its turn. And you just gently keep turning this until the whole mixture has formed into a cooked. There's no raw bits left. So here we are. Now you can see this is halfway there now, and you can see the mixture is turning into a scramble, and we're nearly there. So we'll carry on now. Now, scrambled egg is delicious on toast, of course, but it's also delicious on brown bread. It's delicious with smoked salmon. That's a classic dish. Now we're nearly there. Look at it, it's nearly all solidified now. Now you can see the scramble has formed and makes the most delicious A meal in a moment. We can turn that off. Now, the next thing is we've got to make some toast to perfect the dish, finish off the dish. So we'll make some toast, ordinary white bread. Now, some people like their scrambled egg off their toast, and some people like it on their toast. I like it on the toast because when the sort of milky, buttery, milky substance soaks into the toast, you sort of get an effect like French toast. So it's absolutely delicious. So there you are, a meal in a moment.